My topic is DUB, etiology, diagnosis, and management. Now, the word DUB is not used, it has been updated into abnormal uterine bleeding. Before going to abnormal uterine bleeding, let us know what is normal uterine bleeding. Introduction. Most common complaint in gynecological and family practice affects 1/3 of women at some stage in their life. Key to management include establishing the cause and instituting appropriate therapy. Normal uterine bleeding. Age of the patient should be in the reproductive age, that is from menarche to menopause. Frequency 21 days to 35 days interval. Duration 2 days to 8 days, usually 4 to 6 days. Flow is 35 ml, although 10 ml to 80 ml is considered normal. The same thing again repeated, that is menarche, menopause, and the reproductive years. The menstrual cycle, that is the above one is the ovarian cycle, that is the follicular stage, ovulation, luteal phase. The below one is the uterine cycle, where you see the proliferative phase and the secretory phase. Here is the diagrammatic representation with hormones, estradiol and progesterone, LH and FSH. What is abnormal uterine bleeding? Bleeding from the uterine corpus that is abnormal in regularity, volume, frequency, or duration and occurs in absence of pregnancy. What was this older classification which I told you before? We used to use this dysfunctional uterine bleeding, that is uterine bleeding diagnosis of exclusion. We used to have this menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, polymenorrhea, oligomenorrhea. These were the terms which are used, which are no longer used now. Amenorrhea, oligomenorrhea, postmenopausal bleeding. So they are all outdated now. Then what is this AUB versus DUB? Prior definition, they had some gray areas like dysfunction uterine bleeding was a term which was synonymously used with AUB in literature. But unlike AUB, DUB is a diagnosis of exclusion for which no cause was identifiable. So FIGO, that is International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics, it eliminated this misleading terms in 2011 and it brought out a new classification. That is AUB FIGO classification. It's called as palm coin classification also. So now let us study what is this palm coin. Palm coin classification. It classifies by bleeding pattern and etiology. It was introduced by FIGO in 2011 to create universal nomenclature system to describe uterine bleeding abnormalities in reproductive aged women. ACOG also supported adopting palm coin classification nomenclature to standardize terminology used to describe AUB. This is the article which shows FIGO classification of causes of abnormal uterine bleeding in the reproductive years. Abnormal uterine bleeding, it is in the quantity, regularity and or in the timing. Acute AUB, episode of heavy bleeding that is sufficient amount to require immediate intervention to prevent further blood loss. Chronic AUB present for most of previous 6 months. Acute AUB can be spontaneous or in context of chronic AUB. Intermenstrual bleeding, bleeding between clearly defined cycles. Heavy menstrual bleeding, excessive menstrual blood loss affecting quality of life, which is physical, emotional, social, material. Objective heavy menstrual bleeding is blood loss more than 80 ml per cycle. 60% of these women will have evidence of iron deficiency anemia. Subjective HMB is 50% of women presenting with heavy menses will have measured blood loss within normal limits but must still be considered abnormal and investigated accordingly. Abnormal uterine bleeding has two things, that is heavy menstrual bleeding and intermenstrual bleeding. So palm coin, what is palm? It states the structural causes, that is P for polyp, A for adenomyosis, L for leiomyoma, which is submucosal myoma and other myoma. M for malignancy and hyperplasia. COIN is for non-structural causes, coagulopathy, ovulatory dysfunction, endometrial, iatrogenic, not yet classified. So POM-COIN classification, same thing. What are the differential diagnoses? In the cervix, it is the polyp, cervicitis, ectropion, dysplasia, invasive carcinomas. In the uterus, it is the fibroids, which constitutes 1/3 of the patients. Then it is the endometritis, endometrial polyp, adenomyosis, endometriosis, adenocarcinoma. Ovary, anovulatory cycles, ovarian failure, polycystic ovaries, obesity, ovarian tumors, germ cell tumors, sex cord stromal tumors. Iatrogenics is hormonal contraceptives, IUCD, hormone replacement therapy, phytoestrogens, ginseng, SSRIs. Prolactinomas, thyroid diseases like hypothyroidism, coagulation defects like ITP, von Willebrand's disease, hepatic and renal failures, trauma, foreign bodies, pregnancy-related complications like ectopic pregnancy, inevitable abortions, GTD. So according to the age, what are the common differentials by age? 13 to 18 years means it is anovulation, OCP, pelvic infection, coagulopathy, tumor. The most common cause among adolescents is persistent anovulation due to immaturity or dysregulation of the HPO axis. 19 to 39, it is the pregnancy, structural lesions like leiomyoma, polyp, anovulatory cycles due to PCOS, OCPs, endometrial hyperplasia, endometrial cancer. 40 above, it is an anovulatory bleeding, endometrial hyperplasia and carcinomas, endometrial atrophy, and leiomyoma. Prepubertal, that is less than 10 years, etiology is precocious puberty, non-menstrual bleeding, foreign bodies, iatrogenic. What is the treatment for precocious puberty? Assess the secondary sexual characters, proper examination to exclude local causes, direct treatment at cause. In adolescent, it is the anovulatory DUB, that is the AUB. Exclude a pathological cause, treat cause if found. If AUB and mild, reassure, counsel, hematinics and menstrual calendar. If severe, then you admit the patient, then start with blood transfusion, COCs or cyclical progestrogens and hematinics. Reproductive female, etiology may be benign polyps, fibroids, PID, abnormal pregnancy, ovulatory DUB. Treatment, examination, pregnancy test, pap smear, ultrasound, hysteroscopy, endometrial sampling, direct treatment of underlying cause. If tests are normal, COC. If bleeding continues, exclude blood discresis and thyroid abnormalities. Perimenopausal female, the same thing again. But if it is simple hyperplasia, we can treat them with progestrogens. If problem recurs, go for hysterectomy. In the postmenopausal female, any bleeding is abnormal. C, that is the vaginal atrophy, cervical CA, endometrial CA. So you have to be alert. HRT, topical estrogen, hysterectomy and bilateral oophorectomy, chemoradiation. Now coming to the diagnosis. Assessment of patient with acute DUB. General approach. Assess rapidly the clinical picture to determine patient's acuity. Determine most likely cause of bleeding, choosing the most appropriate treatment for the patient. History. Focus on the history, that is guided by the POM-COIN system. Focus on the details of current bleeding episodes like length, duration, amount, presence of clots and related symptoms like dizziness. Past menstrual and gynecological history, which is the pap smears, recent surgery, previous medical treatment for gynecological disorders. Sexual history and contraceptive hormonal use. Medical history, medications, that is warfarin, heparin, NSAID, OCP. Personal or family history of bleeding disorders. Sign of acute blood loss, you have to measure the pulse BP, there are the vital signs. If there is evidence of hypovolemic shock, then POM-COIN, that is obesity, hirsutism in PCOS, cold or heat intolerance, and proptosis in thyroid dysfunction, petechiasis in bleeding disorder, splenomegaly, hematological disorders. Confirm it is bleeding from genital tracts first and not from other places. Differentiate between acute and chronic DIB, that is admire and discharge. Now coming to the lab test, first you have to exclude pregnancy in any abnormal bleeding in a reproductive age group. So you have to send for a urine pregnancy test. Then it is the final blood count, then group and cross-matched blood. Then you have to go for the coagulation study for the coagulation disorders, then TSH, LFT, and including this we have to send a RBS also. Pap smear or cervical cytology, hormonal assay like FSH, LH and prolactin levels, nutrition or iron studies, gonorrhea or chlamydia in high-risk patients, retroviral screen, endometrial biopsy or endometrial sampling in an older patient. Coming to the imaging, pelvic ultrasound is the first modality of choice. In that too, transvaginal ultrasound is the primary imaging of uterus for evaluation of AUB. Sonohysterography, hysteroscopy can also be done, and MRI at last. Others may be cytopathology like pap smear, cervical biopsy, endometrial biopsy, and surgical. This one for diagnosis include DNC. So this is a chart which shows the abnormal uterine bleeding. You have to evaluate the uterus. If there is enhanced risk of hyperplasia, then you go for office endometrial biopsy. If it is inadequate, you go for a hysteroscopic biopsy. Okay. Then it is the management according to PalmCoin. Coming to the management. Medical management should be initial treatment for most of the patients. When you go for a need for the surgery, it is based on various things, that is stability of the patient, severity of the bleed, contraindications to medical management, underlying cause, desire for future fertility, long-term maintenance therapy for acute bleed is controlled. Determine if AUB acute versus chronic. If acute AUB, there are signs of hypovolemia. If there are signs, then resuscitate the patient. Take IV access with 1 or 2 large bore IV, crystalloids or colloids, prepare for blood transfusion. Once stable, evaluate for the cause and then treat according to the cause. So in the treatment comes the hormonal medical management. First line, that is treatment options. Combined oral contraceptive pills, they are a different combination, and progesterone therapy. Before this, you can give tranexamic acid also. Medroxyprogesterone assistate, that is cyclic Provera 2.5 to 10 mg daily for 10 to 14 days. These are all the different modalities like Depo-Provera 150 mg. You can give IM every 3 months also. Conjugated estrogen. Progesterone, that is locally, that is IUCD like Mirena. Okay, then progesterone implantable, that is Implanon, GnRH analogs, and danazole. Note, long-term therapy, it is levonorgestrel, IUCD, OCPs, and progesterone. Unopposed estrogen should not be used for a long term. OCPs are generally considered effective in management of both ovulatory and anovulatory AUB. Now this is what I told, that is tranexamic acid antifibrinolytics. It belongs to that group. They are used as inhibitors of fibrinolysis without significant increase in GIT side effects. They reduce virtually all cases bleeding by 40 to 60%. That is the tranexamic acid. QID you give for 4 days in an ovulatory DUB. Mechanism of action is it prevents plasminogen activation and decrease fibrinolysis, so decrease bleeding. NSAIDs, COX inhibitors. Mode, it might be due to vasoconstriction. Trials used, they have used mefenamic acid. So medical management summary is if she is having acute or a chronic bleeding, and if she is anemic, go for an iron therapy, then give antifibrinolytics, COX inhibitors, progestins, continuous or cyclic, or you can give. Then it is local implantable estrogens plus progesterone, androgens, GnRH agonist and antagonist. Coming to the surgical management, what is the need for surgery? It depends on all the causes which I told before. So what are the surgical management options? It is DNC, that is dilatation and curettage, endometrial ablation, uterine artery embolization, hysterectomy. Others include hysteroscopic DNC. You can do a polypectomy and a myomectomy. Thank you.